All right, so let's jump right into this conversation about making outbound cold telephone calls, also known as telemarketing. And I feel this is a very important conversation, especially if you're looking to get a message out, or you're new to introducing your business, or you're new to being an entrepreneur all the way around, and you're the one that has to get the sales pipeline started. And so I want to leave these tips with you, as well as far as your mindset, as well as what is a quick telephone script. What does that look like? And so in this case, with my 5+ years of telemarketing experience, representing my own firm or the firm of my clients or their brands, I've been able to condense my telephone scripts down to really one page. In this case, we have 2 pages because I have the font on 16, so that way everybody can see it. The font on size 16, so everyone can see what I wrote down here. And so really, you really want to condense it if you can. So let's jump right into it. So when it comes to outbound cold phone calls, there's a few things that you need to keep in mind. One, you have to have a notepad and pen or writing utensil ready to go. Simply because when you're on the phone, you want to be a great listener, and that's going to require that you listen. And so therefore, typing down notes is going to be hard to do. But if you can write it down quickly, you're able to still retain the information that the receiver is telling you. So that way, by the time you end your phone call with this individual, they feel like they were heard, as well as you left a strong impression on them. You also want to know who you're talking to. The reason I say that is because, especially when you're making outbound cold phone calls, you're usually going to talk to your gatekeeper, front office coordinator, or an executive assistant. You're rarely talking to the decision maker right off the bat. And keep in mind that your executive assistants, your front office coordinators, also known as your gatekeepers, they're answering phones all the time. And they sometimes don't have the best conversations with individuals. And don't let it be a Monday or a Wednesday where it's just one of those slow days and they're having already a rough time over the phone. By the time you call in, they're probably not going to be in the best attitude or position respectfully to listen to what you're saying. And so knowing that, you want to always make sure that you come off as, hey, I want to be respectful of the gatekeeper. And the way you're respectful is to get to the point, which is the next point in the notes. Get to the point as quickly as you can. And therefore, that means it's okay to work backwards in your telephone script. And the reason I say you're working backwards in your telephone script is when you look at the telephone script, you're going to see that I really don't put out a lot of information at the beginning, but put the information in toward the end. And you're going to see shortly how we do that. So you want to get to the point as quickly as you can. So you're respectful to the gatekeepers and you make a lasting impression on the gatekeepers. So that way, by the time you get to the decision maker, you have a great call with the decision maker. That decision maker might have a conversation with their executive assistant or the front desk and say, hey, or they just might be part of the conversation, or the gatekeeper is walking past the decision maker during a conversation of contemplating on doing business with you or not. And if that gatekeeper, being the front office coordinator or executive assistant, can say something positive about you and say that they had a great conversation with you, that will be the final decision to go ahead and do business with you. But if you don't leave a positive impression with the gatekeeper, they may have a situation where they may have notes, so where that they electronically put in after your conversation, and if they don't have the best experience with you, they'll put not the best experience in the notes. So that way, if it's them or someone after them that gets the job or anything, that individual can always pull up those notes, read your information and say, oh no, based upon a conversation 2 years ago, a year ago, 6 months ago with such and such person, we don't want to do business with them. So you always want to make sure that you are staying with the positive attitude. And so knowing that, you want to be prepared and keeping things short and simple. You want to be prepared to explain your business really in one sentence as far as what your business does. And you also want to be prepared to answer how you get your service or product or service done or your product to them in one sentence. So let's go ahead and jump into this conversation, this telephone script. In the script, we have an introduction phase, we have a decision maker phase, and we have a close phase. Let's jump into the introduction. Hello, I was calling to find out who I will need to talk to about introducing your name of your service or product. We just relocated to the area. So in this case, we're going to pretend we're a cleaning company. And so, hello, I was calling to find out who I will need to talk to about introducing our cleaning service to your business. We just relocated to the area. And the fact that I put we just relocated to the area kind of puts the guard down for the gatekeeper, because they know that you're new to the area and you have to solicit business, compared to someone that may be in the area already and they just feel like you're just calling in. It's just a different perspective. So you always want to kind of justify why you're calling. I'm new to the area. You might not be. You can change that sentence if you want, but we just moved to the area. From there, they might ask, who's calling? You can say, that's when you come in and say, hey, not hey, but my name is John. I'm a sales representative for the cleaning service, Clean Your House. We specialize in buffering floors in the northwest area of your city. And I was calling to find out who I need to talk to about introducing our business. And if you noticed, I said my name, but I didn't say my last name. I said my first name, because when you give your last name, especially to a gatekeeper respectfully, it does come off as salesy. We don't want to come off as salesy. We want to have a basic, fun conversation like you're supposed to in everyday life. So hi, my name is John. I'm the sales representative for cleaning service, Clean Your Home. We specialize in buffing floors in the northwest territory of your city. Wanted to find out who I need to talk to. Very clear, very concise. They're going to direct you. Again, 9 times out of 10, these gatekeepers are just directing you to who you need to talk to. So you don't have to give this whole spiel to the gatekeeper, because they're going to either cut you off, or they're going to say, well, hold on, let me direct you. Now you just wasted the whole pitch, What are your services or products if they ask you that? Again, you want to know what your services are, very clear, your products, very clear. We primarily use shea butter cleaning powder when we buff the floors. That leaves a lasting impression on our work, in so many words. You can always tweak the script, but I'm just giving you an idea of, one, not giving away so much information off the back, and if they have a question, being prepared to answer that question. So we primarily use buffing cleaning solution, triple sec, whatever you want to call the product or service, to leave a lasting impression on your floors. Who do I talk to? You want to jump right back in. Usually by now they're going to transfer you over, but I'm just giving you worst case scenarios. Now, if the decision maker is not available, and this is coming from the gatekeeper, you want to say, no worries. Is there a good email to reach? And usually when they're saying, oh, well, John or Billy or Susan is not in, write that name down, because now you know who you're talking to, who you're asking for. Next time you just call and ask directly for such and such person. But no worries. Is there a good email to reach Billy, whatever the person's name is, Billy, just in case we cannot connect over the phone. Now, the reason you want to grab that email address is because you should always be prospecting, and email marketing is a great way to also deliver your message or your service or product with a telephone call. So you already won, because now you found out who the decision maker was if you didn't know, and you have an email address before you even get on the phone with them. And in this case, you won't be on the phone with them because they're not available. So at least you're able to send an email, and then when you follow up with the phone call, you can say, hey, you get a chance to check your email? I sent you an email a few hours ago with the subject XYZ. And more importantly, now that you have the email address, if they transfer you over to leave a voicemail, you can say, hey, Billy, just want to let you know that I sent you an email of my cleaning service, Clean Your Home. We're new to the northwest area of your city. We specialize in buffering floors using the Buffer Cleaner Solution 3000. Love to find out, we'd love to connect with you. And the thing is, your information and details already in the email. Because a lot of times when you're talking to a decision maker, they're going to say, okay, great conversation. Can you email me over some more details? So you want to make sure your email is ready to go. But right now we're talking about phone calls. So no worries. Is there a good email to reach Billy, just in case we cannot connect over the phone? Oh, sure. billy.test.com, whatever the website is. You write that down. Also, do you know a better time to call back? So now, in this case, you're making a cold call, but you want to go from cold to warm to hot. Hot is the sale. Warm is basically getting closer to the sale. And so if you know of a better time to call back, Now you're not wasting the gatekeeper's time by calling during insane hours, and that's one less phone call the gatekeeper has to worry about, and you're calling specifically around the time that you know the decision maker is available. So now you're connecting with the decision maker. Let's say they're finally on the phone with you. You want to go back into that spiel. Hi, my name is, oh, hey, John, or Billy. I'm sorry. Hey, Billy, the decision maker. I was calling to find out if you were in need of cleaning services, and I wanted to find out what was the process to schedule a time to talk in detail in the near future. So what you're doing is now you're finally got in contact with the decision maker. You're going to get a yes or no off the back. You don't have time to waste even for yourself. So I was calling to find out if you were in need of cleaning solutions. No, there it is. Possibly, there it is. And if you were, I wanted to find out what is the process? What is your process to schedule time to talk in detail in the near future? When you're on the phone, you got to be consultant minded, meaning your job is to pull information out of the receiver, not as so much giving information. When you pull information out, you're coming off as someone that is experienced. You're coming off as someone that is putting the prospect first. And that's how you're going to leave a lasting impression with that prospect, because they're going to say, man, they allowed me to speak and I was able to hear my voice. I didn't have to sit back and hear all this sales. That's going to leave a lasting impression. And I know this because usually by the time I end my conversations in person over the phone with someone, they're always saying, let me be quiet. I'm talking so much, because you have to be a good listener if you're a consultant. Got to pull that information out. So, hey, John, hey, Billy, I was calling to find out if you were in need of cleaning services. And I wanted to find out what was the process to schedule time to talk with you in detail in the near future. It says here in the notes, be prepared at that point. Once you ask your question, be prepared to have a normal, basic conversation with that decision maker by just listening and asking questions. That's it. Relax, breathe. And when you're on the phone, listen and just have a conversation. So again, I wanted to find out what was the process to schedule time to talk to you in detail in the near future about these services. You're listening. So if the decision maker is open to talking in more detail, they may go ahead and have the conversation then. So be ready. If not, they'll say, hey, click this link or go here and send me an email. We'll schedule something. That's fine. You want to get to the point, be respectful of everyone's time, because you're making a cold call or barging in unannounced, in so many words. So if the decision maker says they're open to talking in more detail, great. I can send you a link to schedule a telephone or video consultation, or we can confirm a schedule now before we hang up. Which do you prefer? I'll read that again. Great. I can send you a link to schedule a telephone or video consultation, or we can confirm a schedule now before we hang up. Which do you prefer? Give them that option, because they'll hopefully open their calendar and boom, there you go. If not, then you're able to let them know, I'm going to send you something, a Calendly link or something that will basically confirm a time for us to talk in the future. So if the decision maker is not in need of your services or products, you just simply ask or say, I understand. Would it be wise for me to call back in 6 to 12 months to see if you need cleaning services in the future? And what that does is, yes, they said they weren't interested, but you didn't close yourself out. You're going to still give it another shot and say, hey, I understand. Would it be wise? You're asking them, would it be wise for me to call back in 6 to 12 months? They're going to let you know yay or nay. Either way, you still want to call back. But at the same time, you want to give them the opportunity to be heard and for them to speak their piece. And these are the simple tips that's going to leave a lasting impression. They'll go ahead and let you know what you need to do. Write that in the notes and on your close. Either way it goes, thank you so much. Wishing you a great rest of the day. It's just that simple. Thank you so much. Wishing you a great rest of the day. And so in this conversation, you noticed I pulled information out by asking questions, giving the prospect an opportunity to speak. Also, I gave the gatekeeper, I respected their time by getting straight to the point, knowing what I was able to provide, and listening. if you're able to follow those steps, you will maximize your chances of a sale, of a consultation, of appointment, which is a whole nother conversation. So if you're not open to doing that, or you're not skilled, or you're nervous, you can always reach out to my consulting firm, Hylton Elite Marketing Agency. We specialize in business development and community relations outsourcing, basically increasing your customer base or your presence in the community. And the way that we do that is by making phone calls. Now, this is a telephone script for sales, but it could be used in the same context for community relations, because the bottom line is you're looking to pull out information. You're looking to schedule an appointment so you can talk in more detail. So make sure that you click the link to find out more about our outsourcing services, so that way we can get the job done for you, as well as click the link for my advising services. If you're looking for more insight, more access, and more resources into urban areas, you definitely want to make sure you click the link so that we can schedule time to talk. Make sure you're following, liking, subscribing all of our work, and I'll see you next time.